Most riders negotiate a dealer's asking price without ever knowing what the dealer paid. Some motorcycles sell at wholesale for thousands less than their showroom price. Today, we're exposing 12 of the biggest pricing gaps, and by number 1, you'll know exactly where dealers make their biggest profits. Number 12. Honda Shadow Aero 750. Most riders think the dealership decides what a motorcycle is worth. In reality, the market usually decides first. Dealers simply know how to buy at one price and sell at another. Few motorcycles demonstrate that better than the Honda Shadow Aero 750. It is dependable, easy to own, and trusted by almost everyone, which makes it one of the safest bets a dealership can bring home from a wholesale auction. Here is where things get interesting. A brand new Honda Shadow Aero ABS carried a manufacturer's suggested retail price of more than $8,000. Yet a clean Honda Shadow Aero ABS from 2022 can show an average retail value of just over $7,000, while published lower retail values fall into the mid-$5,000 range. That difference represents the space where dealers cover inspections, transportation, servicing, overhead, and of course profit. The pattern becomes even clearer with motorcycles built between 2016 and 2019. Many owners simply trade them in because it is quick and convenient. Dealers know these shaft-driven V-twin cruisers rarely need anything dramatic. Fresh fluids, a careful inspection, a professional detail, and suddenly the motorcycle is back on the showroom floor wearing a much higher price tag. That is your opportunity. Instead of limiting yourself to dealership inventory, search for one owner, motorcycles with complete maintenance records, and compare every asking price with trusted valuation guides before making an offer. Facts negotiate better than emotions, and wholesale data gives you confidence instead of guesswork. If exposing dealer markups before they empty your wallet is your kind of content, drop a hype in the comments and subscribe, because the biggest pricing surprises are still waiting later in this countdown. The Shadow Aero's biggest strength is also the reason dealers love it. Riders know these motorcycles can pile on miles with remarkable reliability, so demand never really disappears. That makes every clean example an easy resale. But if you think this cruiser creates a healthy profit margin, wait until you see what comes next. Our next motorcycle opens an even wider gap between wholesale cost and showroom price, and it catches far more buyers off guard than the Honda ever does. Number 11. Yamaha V-Star 650. Some motorcycles lose value because they're unreliable. Others lose value because the market simply moves on. The Yamaha V-Star 650 falls squarely into the second category, and that's exactly where dealerships make some of their easiest money. While buyers chase bigger engines and newer technology, this old-school cruiser keeps showing up at wholesale auctions for surprisingly little. Dealers know something many shoppers don't. Reliability sells itself. Here's what the numbers reveal. The final 2016 Yamaha V-Star 650 Custom carried an original MSRP of $6,990. Today, widely respected pricing guides place average retail between $4,480 and low retail at $3,405. Step back just one model year to the 2015 version, and the pattern barely changes. Dealer-ready values still sit around $4,260, while lower market values land near $3,240. That leaves a comfortable spread before destination charges, documentation fees, financing, or extended warranties even enter the picture. So why do dealers love these bikes? Because they're refreshingly uncomplicated. The air-cooled 649 cubic centimeter V-twin, dependable shaft drive, and proven mechanical design mean many auction purchases need little more than fresh fluids, a battery, new tires if necessary, and a careful detail before rolling onto the sales floor. Low preparation costs mean healthier profit margins. If you're buying privately or even negotiating with a dealership, walk in armed with current pricing guide values instead of emotion. If the motorcycle needs cosmetic work, worn tires, or overdue maintenance, use those facts to justify an offer much closer to wholesale than retail. Negotiating with documented market data is far more persuasive than simply asking for a discount. One quick inspection can also save you a costly surprise. Turn the handlebars slowly from lock to lock. If you feel a noticeable notch in the center, Worn steering head bearings could turn an apparent bargain into an expensive repair. The V-Star reminds us that popularity on the used market doesn't always translate into strong wholesale prices. Dealers count on shoppers focusing on the monthly payment instead of the bike's actual market value. Keep that pricing gap in mind because the next motorcycle delivers the same everyday cruiser experience while often changing hands for even less before it reaches the dealership floor. Number 10. Suzuki Boulevard C50. Here's where experienced dealers start smiling when the auctioneer drops the hammer. The Suzuki Boulevard C50 isn't the motorcycle that grabs headlines or dominates bike nights, but that's exactly what makes it so profitable. While plenty of buyers chase the badge on the fuel tank, dealers pay attention to something far more important: motorcycles that are dependable, inexpensive to prepare for sale, and easy to sell once they're sitting on the showroom floor. The Boulevard C50 checks every one of those boxes. The pricing spread explains everything. A brand new 2024 Boulevard C50 carries an MSRP between $9,199, while published retail values already fall between roughly $6,225 and $8,190. Move into the used market where most auction inventory lives, and the opportunity becomes even bigger. Models built between 2019 and 2020 routinely carry wholesale-oriented values between $4,015 and $4,370, while clean dealership inventory commonly lists between $5,285 and $5,750. So why are dealers so eager to buy them? Because the risk is remarkably low. That fuel-injected 805 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V-twin has earned a reputation for lasting well into high mileage with routine maintenance alone. The shaft drive eliminates chain service, the riding position appeals to commuters and weekend tours alike, and replacement parts are affordable almost everywhere in America. For a dealer, that's about as predictable as inventory gets. There's another reason the numbers work. Cruiser buyers often shop with emotion. A freshly detailed Boulevard with gleaming chrome and spotless paint feels far more valuable than the exact same motorcycle sitting dusty in someone's garage. Dealers understand that presentation changes perception, and perception raises selling prices. If you're buying privately, bring current wholesale pricing guides with you. Use those figures as your starting point, then factor in tires, brakes, battery condition, and maintenance history before adjusting your offer. You're negotiating with market evidence, not guesswork. Before you shake hands, inspect the water pump area and lower engine cases for any coolant residue or seepage. Most examples stay perfectly dry, but catching a leak early can save you from an expensive repair later. The Boulevard is a textbook example of a motorcycle that loses value faster than it loses usefulness. That's great news if you're buying smart, but depreciation doesn't always work in your favor. What happens when demand is so strong that dealers pay more at auction and still manage to charge even bigger premiums? The next bike answers that question perfectly. Number 9. Honda Rebel 500. Walk into almost any dealership and there's a good chance you'll find a Honda Rebel 500 sitting near the front of the showroom. That isn't an accident. Dealers know these motorcycles rarely stay unsold for long. New riders want them because they're unintimidating. Experienced riders respect them because they're dependable. And that steady demand creates one of the healthiest profit opportunities in the used motorcycle market. Here's what many buyers never see. A brand new Honda Rebel 500 carried a manufacturer's suggested retail price of well over $6,000. Yet a clean model from 2024 already shows a published lower retail value in the mid-$4,000 range, while average retail climbs comfortably above $6,000. Before a dealer even adds documentation fees, financing, or optional accessories, there's already a sizable gap between wholesale-oriented pricing and what many customers eventually pay. The story repeats itself with motorcycles built between 2023 and 2024. Many first-time owners ride them for a season or two, gain confidence, then trade them towards something larger. That steady stream of low-mileage trade-ins gives dealerships exactly what they want. Most Rebels need little more than routine servicing, a careful inspection, and a professional detail before they're ready to return to the showroom with a much higher asking price. That gives private buyers a powerful advantage. Search for one owner, motorcycles with complete service records, compare every listing against trusted valuation guides, and inspect wear items like the chain, sprockets, and tires before negotiating. When you base your offer on documented market values instead of emotion, you're thinking exactly like the professionals. The Rebel flips the usual pricing story on its head. Strong demand keeps wholesale values surprisingly high, which leaves buyers with less room to negotiate. So if you're looking for a motorcycle that gives you similar everyday usability without forcing you into one of the hottest price brackets on the market, the next machine deserves your attention. Number 8. Kawasaki Vulcan S. Most cruisers play by the same old rulebook: big V-twin, lazy power, and plenty of chrome. The Kawasaki Vulcan S threw that formula out the window, and dealerships couldn't have been happier. Beneath its low cruiser styling sits the same proven parallel twin engine that helped make the Ninja 650 a household name. That means smoother performance, modern reliability, and a motorcycle that's just as comfortable introducing someone to riding as it is carrying an experienced owner across the state. Dealers know that kind of versatility sells fast. The pricing explains why they actively hunt for them. A 2024 Kawasaki Vulcan S originally carried an MSRP of $7,349. Today, respected pricing guides place low retail between $4,975, while average retail climbs to $6,545. Choose the ABS version and the spread grows even larger, with values stretching from $5,455 to $7,175. Even newer motorcycles leave plenty of room for dealer profit before paperwork, setup charges, financing, and warranty packages are added. Go back a few model years and the opportunity becomes even clearer. A clean 2020 ABS model typically falls between $4,060 and $5,345, while a 2022 example usually lands between $4,375 and $5,755. That's exactly the kind of pricing spread dealerships love. The secret isn't flashy marketing, it's broad appeal. The Vulcan S fits newer riders thanks to its approachable seat height and predictable power, while seasoned motorcyclists appreciate its lively engine and relaxed highway manners. Kawasaki's adjustable 𝐏𝐿𝐼 system makes the same motorcycle comfortable for riders of different sizes, giving dealers an even larger pool of potential customers. If you're shopping for one, don't let a polished showroom convince you it's worth every extra dollar. Search for one-owner motorcycles with complete maintenance records, then compare the asking price against current pricing guide values before making an offer. If the bike needs tires, overdue service, or shows cosmetic wear, use those facts to negotiate from documented market value, not emotion. Before handing over your money, start the engine completely cold and listen carefully near the cam chain area. A quick rattle during startup is common, but if the noise lingers, it deserves a closer inspection. The Vulcan S shows that buying outside the most popular models can already save real money. But cruisers aren't the only place where dealers find healthy margins. Step into the naked bike category and the pricing game changes again, because one of America's favorite middleweights keeps creating opportunities that informed buyers know how to exploit before the dealer ever does. Number 7. Yamaha MT-07. Some motorcycles are easy for dealers to sell. Then there are motorcycles like the Yamaha MT-07. This is the kind of bike that barely has time to collect dust before someone walks through the door asking about it. Whether it's a first-time rider looking for a confidence-inspiring machine, a daily commuter wanting something light and economical, or a veteran rider chasing weekend fun, the MT-07 appeals to almost everyone. And when demand stays that strong, dealers know paying wholesale prices can still leave plenty of room for profit. The numbers prove it. A brand new 2024 Yamaha MT-07 carried an MSRP of $8,199. Current pricing guides place wholesale-oriented values near $5,550, while average dealer retail values climb to roughly $7,300. Earlier models follow the same pattern. A 2022 MT-07 commonly falls between $4,970 and $6,535, while a 2017 Yamaha FZ-07 typically ranges between $4,015 and $5,285. That's a remarkably consistent spread for a motorcycle that never seems to lose its popularity. So why are dealers eager to bid on them? Because they're buying certainty. Yamaha's 689 cubic centimeter CP2 parallel twin has earned an outstanding reputation for durability, and buyers already know exactly what they're getting. The bike is lightweight, entertaining, inexpensive to maintain, and versatile enough to handle city traffic, back roads, or the occasional track day. Few motorcycles appeal to such a wide range of riders. There's another advantage. Many owners spend thousands customizing these bikes with exhaust systems, suspension upgrades, mirrors, tail tidy kits, and cosmetic accessories. Dealers often acquire those modified motorcycles at wholesale prices, then advertise the upgrades as bonus value without paying anything close to their original cost. If you're shopping privately, don't assume every accessory deserves a premium. Start with published wholesale pricing for the exact model year, then increase your offer only for documented maintenance and upgrades you genuinely want. Flashy modifications rarely add as much value as sellers believe. Before buying, inspect the frame sliders, bar ends, foot pegs, engine covers, and exhaust carefully. Fresh scrapes or mismatched replacement parts can reveal a previous tip-over that the seller conveniently forgot to mention. So far, we've uncovered motorcycles with surprisingly wide pricing gaps, but everything from here on represents the largest verified dealer markups in this entire countdown. If this insider look at dealer pricing is changing the way you'll shop for your next motorcycle, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, which bike has shocked you the most so far, and which motorcycle do you think is still waiting in the top half of the list? Let's see who can predict number one before we reveal it. The MT-07 has built such a strong reputation that many buyers accept the asking price without questioning it. Dealers know exactly how valuable that reputation is. But what if another middleweight delivers the same everyday versatility, has decades of proven reliability behind it, and still slips through the wholesale market with far less attention? That's where the next motorcycle becomes one of the smartest buys in the entire countdown. Number 6. Suzuki SV 650. Now we're entering the part of the countdown where dealerships stop hoping for easy profits and start expecting them. The Suzuki SV 650 has spent more than 2 decades earning a reputation as the motorcycle that almost everyone recommends. Whether you're a first-time rider, a daily commuter, a weekend canyon carver, or someone looking for an affordable track bike, the answer somehow keeps coming back to the same machine. Dealers know that, which is exactly why they love seeing one roll through a wholesale auction. The pricing tells the story. A brand new Suzuki SV 650 ABS carried a manufacturer's suggested retail price of more than $8,000. Yet published valuation guides place clean examples from 2024 much closer to the mid-$5,000 range on the lower end of the market, while average retail values climb well into the $7,000 range. Motorcycles built between 2019 and 2022 follow the same pattern, consistently leaving well over $1,000 between wholesale-oriented values and typical dealership asking prices. That margin exists because the SV almost sells itself. Its dependable V-twin engine has earned legendary status for reliability, routine maintenance is straightforward, and nearly every kind of rider can enjoy it. Even better for dealerships, many owners trade them after only a few seasons in search of something bigger, leaving behind clean, low-mileage motorcycles that need little more than fresh fluids, a safety inspection, and a professional detail before returning to the showroom. Here's how you stay on the winning side of that equation. Compare every listing with trusted valuation guides, inspect the frame chain, brake pads, and tires carefully, and never assume the asking price reflects the motorcycle's actual market value. A seller may set the price, but the market decides what the bike is truly worth. The Suzuki SV 650 has earned its reputation the hard way. Dealers know it's dependable, buyers know it's dependable, and that shared confidence keeps wholesale discounts from getting too extreme. But reliability isn't the only thing that shapes auction prices. Image matters too. The next motorcycle wears full fairings, attracts first-time sport bike buyers by the thousands, and that popularity creates a pricing game every smart shopper should understand. Number 5. Kawasaki Ninja 650. We've reached the top 5, and from this point forward, the motorcycles aren't just popular. They're the ones dealerships genuinely want sitting on their showroom floors. Few prove that better than the Kawasaki Ninja 650. It delivers the aggressive styling riders crave without the unforgiving nature of a race-bred supersport. Comfortable enough for the daily commute, quick enough for a weekend blast through the backroads, and backed by one of Kawasaki's most dependable engines. It's the kind of motorcycle that attracts buyers from almost every corner of the market. Dealers know that, which is exactly why they chase clean examples at wholesale auctions. The pricing makes the opportunity impossible to ignore. A 2024 Kawasaki Ninja 650 ABS originally carried an MSRP of $8,899. Current pricing guides place low retail between $6,135 and average retail at $8,070. Before freight charges, paperwork, taxes, financing, or optional warranties are added, there's already a healthy spread, separating wholesale-oriented values from what many buyers ultimately pay. The same pattern shows up across the used market. A 2022 ABS model typically falls between $5,390 and $7,090, while a clean 2020 example usually ranges from $4,710 to $6,195. Those consistent margins explain why dealerships rarely hesitate when one appears at auction. Its appeal is remarkably broad. New riders appreciate the forgiving power delivery and upright ergonomics, while experienced owners value a motorcycle that's equally happy, carving corners or covering highway miles. If you're buying one yourself, don't negotiate based on excitement. Arrive with current pricing guide values for the exact model year and trim level. If the motorcycle needs tires, overdue maintenance, or shows cosmetic blemishes, use those facts to move the conversation closer to wholesale pricing. And don't be tempted to overpay simply because it wears an aftermarket exhaust or flashy accessories. Those upgrades often impress sellers far more than they increase actual market value. Before shaking hands on the deal, inspect the steering stops on both sides of the frame. Fresh paint, chipped metal, or bent stops can reveal a previous front-end impact, even when the fairings appear flawless. The Ninja 650 proves that one of America's favorite middleweight sport motorcycles can also be one of the smartest places to negotiate like an informed buyer instead of paying whatever the showroom sticker demands. But there is another side to the market where demand works in reverse. Once motorcycles become expensive enough, the pool of buyers shrinks dramatically, and that's exactly where some of the biggest wholesale bargains begin to appear. Number 4. BMW R1200 GS. Now we're stepping into a completely different league, where the price tags get bigger, the buyers become more serious, and every percentage point of markup is suddenly worth real money. The BMW R1200 GS isn't just another adventure bike, it's one of the most recognized motorcycles on the planet. That reputation gives dealers something incredibly valuable: customers who already know what they want before they ever walk through the front door. The pricing tells the story. A BMW R1200 GS from 2018 carried an original MSRP of $16,695 before popular factory option packages pushed many examples even higher. Today, published pricing guides place wholesale-oriented values near $9,880, while average retail values climb to roughly $12,995. Earlier models follow the same pattern. A 2016 example typically falls between $8,730 and $11,485, while a 2015 model ranges from $8,090 to $10,645. That's a gap approaching $3,000 on motorcycles that already command premium prices. So why do dealers chase these bikes? Because they're buying confidence. The legendary 1,170 cubic centimeter boxer twin has earned a worldwide reputation for crossing continents with remarkable durability. Many owners also maintain them meticulously before trading up to the newest GS, meaning dealerships often receive motorcycles with complete service histories and only minor cosmetic work needed before resale. If you're shopping privately, bring current pricing guide values with you and study the maintenance records just as carefully as the motorcycle itself. Valve inspections, final drive, fluid changes, brake fluid service, and documented recall work all add genuine value. On the other hand, worn tires, aging brake pads, or an overdue major service provide solid reasons to negotiate much closer to wholesale pricing. Before you commit, inspect the final drive housing around the rear wheel for even the slightest sign of oil seepage. It's not common, but ignoring it can become an expensive lesson. The R1200GS shows how premium adventure bikes can lose thousands of dollars in value long before they lose their ability to cross a continent. Which raises an interesting question. If adventure motorcycles depreciate this quickly, what happens to luxury? Touring bikes that cost even more when they were new? The answer surprises almost everyone. Number 3. Honda Goldwing. When a Honda Goldwing rolls across a dealer auction block, experienced buyers don't see an old touring motorcycle. They see opportunity. Few machines have earned a stronger reputation for crossing states, swallowing miles, and refusing to quit. That reputation gives dealers tremendous confidence because they know someone dreaming about long-distance travel will eventually walk through the door looking for one. What surprises most shoppers is how much room exists between wholesale value and the price sitting on the windshield. A brand new Honda Goldwing Tour DCT carried a manufacturer's suggested retail price approaching $30,000. Yet published valuation guides place clean examples from 2024 well into the lower $20,000 range on the wholesale-oriented side of the market, while average retail climbs several $1,000s higher. Models built between 2020 and 2022 create an even wider spread, often leaving more than $5,000, separating lower retail values from typical dealership pricing. The reason is remarkably simple. Goldwing owners are famous for caring for their motorcycles. Many arrive as trade-ins with complete maintenance records, fresh tires, spotless paint, and every service completed on schedule. That means dealerships spend very little preparing them for resale while still commanding premium prices from buyers who trust the Goldwing name above almost everything else. Here's where knowledge becomes money. Search for privately owned motorcycles with documented service history. Compare every asking price against trusted valuation guides and inspect every storage compartment, latch, electronic feature, and maintenance record before making an offer. A well-cared-for Goldwing can deliver decades of touring comfort, but there's no reason to pay thousands extra simply because it happens to be parked inside a showroom. The Goldwing proves that the most expensive motorcycles often hide the biggest negotiating opportunities. When the original purchase price starts high, the wholesale gap grows even larger. But depreciation doesn't follow the same rules everywhere. Sometimes a motorcycle keeps its price not because it's better, but because the badge on the fuel tank changes how buyers think. That's exactly what makes the next motorcycle such an interesting case study. Number 2, Harley-Davidson Sportster 883. Some motorcycles sell because they're better on paper. This one sells because of the badge on the fuel tank. The Harley-Davidson Sportster 883 has spent decades serving as the front door to Harley ownership, and dealerships know that name alone brings people through the showroom. That's why clean Sportsters rarely linger at wholesale auctions. Dealers understand they're not just buying a used motorcycle. They're buying one of the strongest brands in motorcycling. And that confidence creates one of the biggest wholesale to retail spreads on this entire countdown. The numbers tell the story. The final 2022 Harley-Davidson Iron 883 left the factory with an MSRP of $11,249. Current pricing guides place low retail at $7,815, while average retail climbs to $10,280. That's a gap of $2,465. And that's before dealership documentation fees, financing costs, freight, or optional protection plans ever appear on the paperwork. The pattern doesn't stop there. A 2020 Iron 883 typically falls between $5,985 and $7,875, while a 2018 model usually lands between $5,315 and $6,990. Year after year, the pricing remains remarkably consistent, giving dealerships plenty of room to earn healthy profits. Why does it happen? Because people don't simply shop for a cruiser, they shop for a Harley, the proven air-cooled evolution. V-Twin has earned a reputation for lasting a very long time. Replacement parts are everywhere, and the aftermarket is enormous. A set of handlebars, a different seat, or a slip-on exhaust can make a used Sportster look irresistible, even if the dealership acquired it for thousands less only weeks earlier. If you're determined to own one, patience can save you a surprising amount of money. Look beyond the showroom and focus on well-maintained, single-owner motorcycles with documented service history. Bring current pricing guide values to the meeting and negotiate from verified market data, not the seller's emotional attachment. And remember, expensive accessories rarely increase resale value by what they originally cost. Before you commit, inspect the engine carefully around the rocker box, covers, and cylinder-based gaskets. A clean, dry engine is exactly what you want. Fresh oil seepage, on the other hand, can quickly become either a valuable bargaining chip or a reason to keep walking. The Sportster reminds us that reputation alone can support dealer asking prices long after wholesale values have settled. So here's the final question. If reputation can inflate prices, what happens when an extraordinary motorcycle has the opposite problem, delivering luxury, performance, and technology while demand quietly slips away? That's where the biggest pricing opportunity on this entire countdown finally appears. Number 1, BMW K1600 GT. We've reached the top spot, and no motorcycle on this countdown demonstrates the power of understanding wholesale pricing better than the BMW K1600 GT. This is the machine that quietly turns some of the biggest dollar margins in the used motorcycle market. While most buyers see a luxurious Grand Tourer with a breathtaking inline-6 engine and every comfort imaginable, experienced dealers see something else. Premium inventory that can generate thousands of dollars in profit. The numbers explain why. A brand new 2024 K1600 GT carried an MSRP of $27,245, yet published pricing guides place wholesale-oriented values near $19,755, while average retail values climb to roughly $25,960. Even models built between 2019 and 2022 routinely show pricing gaps worth several $1,000s. That's possible because these motorcycles are usually owned by meticulous touring riders who maintain them carefully before trading up to newer BMW models. Dealers acquire exceptionally clean machines, perform inspections and servicing, then confidently ask premium prices because buyers know exactly what a K1600 GT represents. If you're shopping for one, study the maintenance records as carefully as the motorcycle itself, and always compare the asking price with current wholesale valuation guides before making an offer. And if today's video made you think twice before trusting the sticker price, click the next video and keep the road trip going. We've got another motorcycle deep dive waiting that could completely change the way you buy, ride, and think about motorcycles. Join our tribe by subscribing. And if you enjoyed riding with us today, don't forget to like this video before you head out.